Sherlock Holmes continues to be one of the most frequently adapted characters in all of literature. Created by British author Arthur Conan Doyle, the fictional detective has been adapted to the screen countless times over the years. Some of the most recent iterations include Guy Ritchie's 2009 film Sherlock Holmes and its 2011 sequel, subtitled A Game of Shadows, starring Robert Downey Jr. in the titular role. On television, one of the most popular adaptations is the BBC series Sherlock, which released 13 episodes from 2010 to 2017 starring Benedict Cumberbatch as a modern version of the character. In recent years, there has been a resurgence of Sherlock Holmes adaptations, including those centered around other characters from the canon. Netflix's Enola Holmes movies star Millie Bobby Brown as the titular teenage sister of Sherlock Holmes who solves mysteries. On television, the CBS series Watson is a medical drama with detective elements centered around Sherlock's sidekick, with Morris Chestnut playing the character. Now, the CW has a new Sherlock Holmes show that has made it to the small screen. Sherlock and Daughter debuts with a Rotten Tomatoes score. How does it compare to other adaptations? Sherlock and Daughter has debuted with a Rotten Tomatoes score. Created by Brendan Foley, with James Duff acting as showrunner, the CW series stars David Thewlis as Sherlock Holmes, who teams up with Amelia Rojas, Blue Hunt, a young Native American woman who believes the detective is her father, as they seek justice for her mother's murder and unravel a conspiracy involving Professor Moriarty, Dow Gray Scott. Sherlock and Daughter's cast also includes Antonio Aquiel, Oren Kinlan, Gia Hunter, Ivana Milicevic, Paul Reed, and Ardal O'Hanlon. Now, on the day the show premieres on the CW and Discovery Plus, Sherlock and Daughter has debuted with an 83% score on Rotten Tomatoes. The show only has 6 reviews at the time of writing, so the score could fluctuate as more are published. It doesn't have an audience score yet, though it should soon as the show premieres at 9 p.m. Eastern Time/Pacific Time. See how the show's Rotten Tomatoes score compares to other adaptations. What Sherlock and Daughter's Rotten Tomatoes score means for the show. What are the reviews saying? Sherlock Holmes looks on in concern in Sherlock and Daughter Season 1. Sherlock and Daughter's Rotten Tomatoes score means that its reviews are mostly positive, albeit only 6 at the time of writing. For instance, in Screen Rant's Sherlock and Daughter review, Ben Gibbons writes, "I was very charmed by the CW's surprisingly refreshing new take on Sherlock Holmes starring David Thewlis. Sherlock and Daughter takes a well-known, well-regarded story, and imagines a new detail that surprisingly shifts the dynamics of the great detective." Overall, critics are saying that while the mystery itself isn't groundbreaking, the show is elevated by strong performances, especially Thewlis as Holmes, and its fresh twist on the classic story. However, there is one negative review criticizing the show's structure, saying it would be stronger with a case of the week format. With Sherlock and Daughter having premiered, audiences can watch the first episode and form their own opinion.